Okay, greetings. And I found it very interesting that I came here to go live and it said unable to go live right as I was going to go live to broadcast this very special show today. So let me get rid of, I have to hold the camera today, so so there won't be a lot of movement. And you see I have this backdrop here because there's something that I want to share with you. So today is very special. It's different. Well, every day is special, but it's different in that I'm going to be broadcasting something from the screen here in just a moment to help to communicate further what I discussed yesterday, which was the topic of the lies and conditioning of the Black spiritual entrepreneurial mind, really the Black mind in period, but who I laser in on and who I serve as those of us who are here to birth signature work, okay? And are very clear that we are here to do that and to become rich financially and otherwise doing that. Oftentimes so we can fund the big vision that we have, among many other things. Self-care, pleasure, serving other people, taking care of our families. And so, for those of you who are here for the first time, I am Naima Singletary. This is The Power to Lead. This is my YouTube show. I am here every weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Paris time. And my intent, and it's like I have multiple intents, like my intent as a human, my intent as an entrepreneur, my intent as a Black woman. My intent here today, let's go here. My intent here today is to really speak to, use this evidence here and the power of my voice to illuminate further the conditioning, illuminate further how far and deep conditioning of the Black spiritual entrepreneurial mind has gone so that one can see it, those who are plagued by this conditioning and the lies, myself included, can see it, then engage in the work to revolutionize it so that which is true reveals itself. That is my intent here today. I would also like to say that this piece that I'm getting ready to show is a dialogue. First of all, you can find this on YouTube yourself. It's called, when I press play and then press pause, I'll be able to show you, okay? But it's a conversation between Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. The great poet, Nikki Giovanni, and the great poet, James Baldwin. And I saw this last night for the first time. And literally, I was glued to the TV watching it. Glued. And he spoke in his own way what I know and what I also spoke on yesterday's show. And so I want to say that, first of all, that's what this is, and that I'm going to play 2 minutes, about 2 minutes of this I'm going to play here in just a mere moment. And then I will come back and, speak to, from my perspective, speak to it and relate this to the gift that I'm bringing to you today in addition to this, which is converting power to big money. Converting power to big money, okay? And what's the correlation, okay? So let's do that. Let's play it, and then we'll come back.
Without quite realizing it. And no matter what our hang-ups are as of this very moment, the hang-up of my generation or the hang-up of your generation, and the terrible situation in which all of us find ourselves, one thing has changed, and that is the attitude that Black people have toward themselves. Now, within that change, I don't want to be romantic about it, a great deal of confusion and coherence, will go on for a very long time, but that was inevitable. That moment had to come too, And everybody's put us now, well, I was trying for myself, after all, first of all, to elucidate for myself a theology and the effects of a theology, which I, at that moment, realized I carried in myself. You know, it was not the world that was my oppressor only. Because what the world does to you, if the world does it to you long enough and effectively enough, you begin to do it to yourself. You become a collaborator, an accomplice of your own murderers, because you believe the same things they do. You know, they think it's important to be white, and you think it's important to be white. They think it is shameful to be black, and you think it is shameful to be black. And you have no corroboration around you of any other sense of life. You know, all those corroborations which are around you are, in terms of the white majority standards, so deplorable, they frighten you to death. You don't eat watermelon. You know, you get so rich you can't dance. You know, you can hardly move by the time you're 14. You know, you're always scrubbed and shining. You know, a parody of God knows what, you know, because no white person has been, you know, as clean as you have been forced to become. And, you know, and you got somehow to begin to break out of all of that and try to become yourself. You know, it's hard for anybody, but it's very hard if you're born black in a white society. Hard because you've got to divorce yourself from the standards of that society. The danger of...
And that's the name of it right there. So you can make note of that. James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni, A Conversation. Okay? So if you want to go find that on YouTube and watch the full thing, it's about 2 hours long, the full thing. Wow. Did you catch that? The society does it to you long enough, you'll do it to yourself. And you start to believe what the dominant society says about you. You start to enact and behave because it's been deeply embedded in you. You've been conditioned. So they no longer have to do it because you do it for yourself. You change your body, you change your walk, your thinking, your lifestyle, the way you are. And before you know it, as the great James Baldwin said, you're not even dancing. You're squeaky clean. You've been stripped down. Nothing signature will come out of that. Nothing signature and powerful and fierce will come out of a scrubbed down, watered down, reduced version, conditioned version of yourself. And I really hope that that brought value to you, because I'm telling you, that touched my deep, deep self when I caught it last night. So how does this relate to converting power to big money? This is how it relates. As I just said, you are going, in order for you to move people, only the people you're meant to move. There are over, people talk about the numbers, but at least 7 billion people on this earth. 7 billion. You are not meant to move all of them. You are meant to move a fraction of them. However, you will only move them if you are the purest truth of yourself. Now, if you are conditioned and watered down based on what the dominant consciousness says you should be, and this applies to all people, no matter what cultural group you're a part of, if you're a watered down, trying to be an acceptable version, how will you birth such a powerful elixir, birth such powerful work, speak such a powerful truth, really stream that which is accurate and right for your people? How will you do that if you're watered down in some conditioned version of yourself because the dominant society says you should be? You can't. And so this is why my 12-week course that you will hear me talking about on practically every show, it's called 5-Figure Clients for Melanin Messengers, is because of the stripping away that will occur and the natural illumination that will occur and the natural rise of power that will occur and the cultivation of wealth consciousness that will occur inside of this 12-week advanced course called 5-Figure Clients for Melanin Messengers. It is the beginning of revolutionizing the Black spiritual entrepreneurial mind. It is the beginning. I say it's the beginning because it's a lifelong game. And my arm is hurting. So, one, the details about the class are beneath this video and you can register. That's one. Two, converting power into money, the beginning of that is you starting to be the truth of yourself. Now, I know this is talked about a lot. Even as I say it, it feels cliche. Like I can feel the cliche in it because everybody and their mom who considers themselves some kind of, transformation person, spiritual person, light worker, talks about being the truth of who you are. But remember, there's knowing the path through something that you read and something that you feel strongly about, and then there's walking the path. There's actually making decisions that are in line with the higher self. There's actually having a daily reality and practicing on a regular, consistent basis that which is birthing the truth of who you are. I rushed to get here and I didn't even really look at myself. Anyway, okay. So, I continue to use myself as an example because, frankly, I am such an anomaly. And please hear me, this is not coming from a vain, egoic place. Because I'm very much in intimate relationship with my ego and vain. Like I know when it is showing itself. I strike up conversation and I'm willing to have taboo conversations with anybody. I have lived worldwide. I have lived on the fringes of life. I've lived many lives in my short life. And it's because of these experiences that lets me know that I am an anomaly. One, as a human being, then I'm an anomaly as a Black person. So it's kind of like, the double edge of Blackness. And what I know from my experience and interacting with all people from different cultures, races, age groups, economic positions, is that your ability to create money and otherwise rests on your ability to come and really sit with, drive with, and be expressed with all of who you are. That which makes you righteous and whole and holy, and that which makes you a disdain, that which makes you ugly and unattractive, like all the shadow parts, all the parts of you that you don't dare speak. Like I have come to know myself, left, right, and in between, so deeply, and have eliminated and alchemized so much shame, and have also lived in so much glory and experienced so much joy and grace and gratitude. Like I have lived the gamut in this body all over the world while engaging with others and serving others, which you can do as well in your own way, that I have become such a powerful being, and this is what allows me to know what is possible for everybody else. And in the fraction of the way, because it's like I haven't even gotten started, in the fraction of the way that I have seen other women who I've worked with step into their power with money, go from tiny apartments, trying to squeeze a year's worth of work into a month, trying to, force things, trying to grab crumbs, who settling, who are pissed off at their reality, who then come connect with me, hire me, and revolutionize their lives in 30 days, in 6 months, where they go from living in a small apartment to living into the apartment of their dreams, of desiring to go to some travel dream destination and coming up with all the money, more than enough money to not only travel to that place for weeks at a time, but then in the process start collecting their first 5-figure clients and demanding more and commanding more and being able to hold more and being able to create more. It's being the fullness of who you are. It's being able to walk in that which makes you ugly and walk in that which makes you holy. It's being able to fuck up royally and own it and still know that you are qualified for more than enough. It's being willing to say, this is what my standard is, even with your flaws. And say, we will operate here or we will operate not at all. It's the willingness to walk in this that allows you to convert, take who you are. Listen, who you are. It's not about stuff. It's not about the external. It's about who you are and having the, right? And it's, as I'm saying, I was getting ready to say having the audacity, but it's not even audacity. It's just what it is. See, getting to that place, you know what kind of work you got to do to get to that place? This is the work that I am teaching you inside of this 12-week course. I've been there and I am there. Like there's a dance. When I say I've been there, it's kind of like, I've talked about that tango dance where it's like, I know I'm powerful, but what are people going to think? I know I'm magical, but can I really do it? I know I have a lot to offer, but who's my people? And like that dance. So I've been there where I've oscillated between the two. But I can, but I can't. But maybe I don't know. But huh? And once you do that enough, and then you also produce results from your magic enough, and you really just come to know through what I call getting dirty. You come to know. Because you've been willing to leap, because you've been willing to try again, because you've been willing to do what is hard, because you've been willing to set boundaries and have people not like you, because you've been willing to not just read about the path and feel some inspiration behind the path, but actually walk the path, right? You're willing to be rejected. You're willing to walk alone. You're willing to try again and again and again and again. You're willing to get dirty. You're willing to not be liked. You're willing to get punched in the throat by life and get up again. You're willing to feel all of your emotions, all of it, all that shit that you wouldn't dare let anybody else see, and then swim in that shit and say, God, what is this here to teach me? You're willing to get close to God and stay connected to the God in you and keep going in the face of opposition and to handle all the venom that's thrown at you and to keep going and to have your head up and to try again and to smile again and to go right and speak that which is true and go out into the light and retreat into the dark when you need to and keep going and allow yourself to get sliced in the throat and keep going and then open your heart and then try again and then ask for help and then command greatness and keep going. Like, are you willing to walk the path to know who you are? Are you willing to, as Pima Chodron says, face annihilation over and over and over again so that you can find that which is indestructible in you? Are you willing? I'm going to repeat that. Are you willing to face annihilation over and over and over again so you can find that which is indestructible in you? Are you willing to stop watching my videos and go walk that walk? Are you willing? I want you to go watch James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni. I want you to enroll in this 12-week course if you know what it is that I'm talking about converting your power into big money if that's the goal, into higher visibility if that's the goal, if that's moving a group of people, if it's to create whatever the result is. Are you willing? So I want you to go watch this, okay? I want you to enroll in the course. The details are below this video. Send me questions. If you have questions, my email is below. But the walking of the path that I've discussed today, the coming into knowing who you are, to be able to convert power into big money, into any kind of effect and impact that you're looking to cause, this course is going to help you do that. We are aggressively pointing the needle in this direction. Very aggressive. There is no course like this that's specifically designed for Melanin Messengers. We are aggressively going at the deeper psyche that was discussed here, that James Baldwin talked about. I'm telling you, this is it. And that which has been so rooted in you, but that you took, and you didn't even take it, you inherited, you swim in it. We all swim in it every day because of the root of this country. And knowing who we are, this course is going to doggedly and aggressively, and with love, might I add. I'm aware of the necessity of love. All of this in this course so that you start to become unrecognizable to yourself and you start being able to be that who I've discussed in this course. I mean, in this show today. And I'm going to close with this. So please, if this course resonates with you, please enroll. I would love for you to be there and for you to not only benefit from the content and the training, but being in the community with the other people, to hear their voices. This is a video course, by the way. To see their faces all over the world, to hear their stories, to know that you are not alone, and to hear how other people are breaking old conditioning and stepping into truth of who they are. So I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. You must face annihilation over and over and over again, so you can find that which is indestructible in you. That's what this course is going to help you begin to do. You must face annihilation over and over and over again, so you can find that which is indestructible in you. I'll see you tomorrow.